Are you struggling to lose weight and just sick and tired of not getting the results on the scale? Well, let me share with you one of my hacks that has helped me go from over 600 plus pounds to 220 and be able to keep that weight off for well over 5 years. Hey, Jason here. And if you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing my journeys as I'm going through the southern region of Africa. I'm currently in Botswana. And most importantly, you've been seeing me talk about success, what it is, and how to get it in the 3 areas of life that I focus on, which are happiness, health, and wealth. And if you're new to the channel, the definition of success is the progressive realization of a worthy idea by Earl Nightingale. Now, let's just be very honest. Anybody that's out there that has a weight loss goal, that is a very worthy ideal, and you should progressively move to that goal. And because I was able to do it, I want to help you do it also. And so let's go ahead and get into today's topic. And so I went out for lunch today, lunch/dinner. I only eat about one meal a day, one full meal. And then I may have like a snack or something, or some apples or something like that in between. But I wanted to talk to you about one of the things that I do. And this is a real common hack for me. And it has worked for me. So I want to see if maybe it can work for you also. And so also make sure if you like this type of content, hit the like button. And if you know someone that's struggling with weight loss, this might be the thing that can help push them towards their goal. So make sure you share this video also. And so one of my hacks is, you may notice in my pictures, if you follow me on IG or TikTok at Jason Chaney 777, that I eat a lot of Indian, Chinese type foods. And one of the reasons being is I like to eat a lot of spicy food. One, I like to tell people I was Mexican in a past life, but most importantly, eating spicy food, it helps you in case you're not good with portion control, because it'll be too spicy and you'll be like, oh, my mouth burning, let me hold up. And it may sound funny, but really think about this. You're teaching yourself to actually portion out your food. Like if you were like me, well over 600 plus pounds, you have a portion issue. And I can admit that openly now. I had a portion control issue. I didn't understand what accurate proportions were. And until I started really focusing on getting healthy, losing weight, and actually monitoring the way that I was eating, until then I started realizing, yo, I'm eating way too much food. And then you may be like, no, Jason, I don't really cook. I don't eat in big plates. I don't do this. But even if you go out to eat most of the time, those portions are not normal size. Usually one portion is about for 2 to 3 different meals. And think about that, we're shoveling all of that down at one sitting. So like I had lunch today at an Indian restaurant. It was my takeaway. And what I usually do, I usually eat about half of the food there, and then I take the other half home. But the main thing that I do to help keep that is I get my food extra spicy. And the reason being is because as I'm sweating, as I start sweating and everything while I'm eating, it makes me slow down. And then it makes me take time, like, okay, let the food digest. And then after that, I want to drink water because my mouth is hot. And when I first started doing this, I wasn't aware of the psychological, the subconscious reprogramming hack that I was doing. But then as I started getting the weight off, and then I started looking at my steps and trying to see, why was Jason to be able to be so successful at this and so many people are failing? And I started seeing the little patterns and the habits that I actually built up, and as I was sacrificing and getting rid of my old habits. And with eating the spicy food, now you do it comparable to your level. So like with me, I get everything extra spicy. Whatever the highest level is, I tell them to go to that level and add a little extra spice on there. And the reason being is I like really spicy food. But let's say if you're someone who doesn't like very spicy, maybe mild will work for you because it'll be just enough kick to get you to slow down. And what this is doing, yes, it's a little painful. However, it's sending receptors to your brain to stop eating. Because most of us, especially when you're severely obese like I was, we don't have the appropriate signals being triggered to our brain to let us know, hey, it's time to stop eating. Hey, okay, take a break. Hey, drink water. So we need to send other signals to the brain to get you to trigger to stop eating. And this is a very easy way with spice, because spice for most people, it'll linger back there for a few minutes. So then you're taking in some air. Have you ever seen somebody eat those real spicy chilies or the one chip challenges? And you see how they're those are really good things because it's making you want to put air inside your system. So you're filling your stomach up with a little air also, So you're not having just all of that space for food to sit there. And then most importantly, it triggers you to start drinking. So because most of us are actually dehydrated majority of the time anyway, it's going to start triggering you to drink water, juice, or something of that nature, which is going to actually fill up that space also. And it also helps you to stop eating. Now, over time, as you continue to do this, your brain will start getting used to those signals and it'll start re-triggering, hey, okay, I don't need to eat right now. Like to give you an example, for me, it took me about 6 or 7 bites. The pain receptors, not the pain receptor, but the spice receptors start kicking in. Then it triggered to my brain, okay, put the plate down, put the fork down, take a break and just sit there. And so what I started doing at that time, I brought my book to read with me. And this is one of the reasons, like if you see me out and about and I'm always reading, that's one of the reasons why. These are just little ways that I trigger my brain to, okay, stop eating, take a break. And then when I'm taking these breaks, what it does in that stillness moment, I can actually reevaluate, do I still have hunger? And then if the answer is yes, I take some more bites after that evaluation. And then it's a whole nother cycle all over again. Take a few bites, then the spice kick up again, take a break, put everything down, maybe start reading my book. Then am I hungry? I start reevaluating, do I still have hunger? And sometimes the answer be yes, sometimes the answer be no. And what I've learned as I've been watching me do these habits, it stops me from overeating. I don't actually finish most meals. If you ever seen someone, if you ever talked to someone who's been eating out with me, they tell you like he doesn't eat a lot. He grazes, and that's one of the ways that I do that because it helps keep me. Because I understand at a chemical level, food sends chemical receptors that trigger in the brain. And some foods, such as really sugary things, over processed foods, they can send false chemical triggers to the brain telling you to keep eating because it's creating that addiction. And when you start having that addiction, that's when you're like, oh, I'm craving this. Oh, like I used to have that with soda. I used to have it with I used to have it with M&Ms to be exact. I used to love M&Ms. Like I would eat the big king size family bags. I remember I'm so embarrassed by it even to this day because M&Ms were really hard to find in Panama when we first moved there. When we went back to the United States to visit and came back, we brought a suitcase bag full of M&Ms and junk food. And I swear to you, it took less than a week to eat that whole suitcase full of junk food. And when we did that, we was like, yo, this is a problem. We got to stop this. And that's when I started really researching and understanding how food at a chemical level, certain things send receptors to our brains and it will start cutting off certain chemicals that we should be getting when we should get full. And that's how I stopped being such a junk food eater. That's why you don't see me eating a lot of sweets. Sometimes people are like, how do you not eat sweets, man? I can't go a day without cake if it's in front of me. And I can tell you, like, I can go weeks, if not months, without it. And the reason being is because I'm really in control of what type of chemical signals I'm letting my brain get. Because I know let's say if I'm buying a bag of jelly beans, once I have a couple of them, I'm not going to stop until I finish the bag. And so when you start monitoring your thoughts like that and start monitoring your habits of how you're eating, you'll start seeing what type of things you like or don't like. And speaking of like, make sure you hit the like button because this is some really great information. And also let me know in the comments if this is something that's hitting home with you. And so like, because of that, that's how I've been able to maintain my weight and continue losing over these years. It's because I started understanding on a chemical level what I'm putting in, but also on a habitual level, how am I eating? And start doing those things too. Let me know if this works for you. And like I say, don't go too spicy to where it's going to hurt you. Just hit your level. Like if you know you're a person who doesn't like spice at all, just go mild. You don't, and then if mild's not too hot, just try a little bit more. Then just slowly work yourself up. Don't go to the ghost peppers and these one chip challenges. Don't hurt yourself. Like we don't have to do that to lose weight. You can do this in a very, very easy way, simple way, let me say. You can do this in a very simple way without hurting you, and you will start getting the results very fast. Now, if you like this type of content, make sure you hit that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe and hit that bell right up top so you can be notified when I'm dropping gems like this on a daily basis. And most importantly, just remember this: I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.